Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacy if you're new here, and today's video is going to be another pack with me for backpacking. This time I'm packing for 2 nights, and I have pretty much everything already still packed from my last trip, which I'll link below. That video should be up before this one. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, I'm going to start off with just taking everything out. Okay, we're gonna start with food this time. And so this specific trip, I am going with just my dad, and we're not bringing the dogs. So we both are gonna sleep in hammocks, and I will need to shove this bear canister into my pack that is 46 liters. So it's going to be really, really tight, and I'm bringing a slightly thicker / heavier sleeping bag just to make sure I'm warm, because I am going to be in a hammock and I don't have the luxury of using the dog as body heat because she's not coming. And that's kind of what I did on our last trip, because I used a slightly less warm, a very thin sleeping bag. If you saw, I'll link my last pack with me video and you can see which sleeping bag I'm talking about. So I used the dog to keep myself a little bit more warm. But it wasn't too bad. I was still fairly warm, so not too worried about that. So I have some things still in here. Okay, so I'm gonna put the stuff that I will need in the bottom, like last. And I really like to sort it all by like day, but because this is so long and skinny, it's kind of hard to do it that way, and I always forget about it. So like, I already got everything all sorted. So I'm going to put it in the bear can from the last thing I'll need to use to the like next thing I will need to use. The thing I need last, thing I need sooner, if that makes sense. Okay, I am bringing some oatmeal, and in here I have a little pack of honey that I actually got from KFC, and that will be a breakfast. And then I have a total of 3 Cliff Bars. And then for dinner, for both nights, I'm doing a Spanish rice, or this one's red beans and rice. The other one is a Spanish rice and then a chicken pack. That is that's what I'm having for dinners. I've got coffee creamer, coffee filters, because I have these pour over coffee maker things. And then the other dinner. And then for lunch, because I only need lunch for one day, so ramen and some chicken. And then I happen to have some of these salt and pepper packets, so I have a couple of those so that I can make sure the chicken is actually seasoned, because it's just a pack of chicken. And then I have 2 different types of electrolytes. I've got these ones, which have less sodium in it versus the Element ones. This is my last one of the flavor I like. I have these, but I don't like this flavor as much. And I really like this brand a lot more because it's got a different potassium and magnesium content. And I'm not like a huge fan of trail mix. Most trail mixes I don't like, and then if I do bring one that I do like, it's usually has chocolate in it or peanut butter, and then it melts and then it makes a mess. So I literally just have mixed nuts and some gummy worms and the other Cliff Bar. I have 3 Cliff Bars and another breakfast, and then some granola and almonds to top it because I like a little bit of a crunch to my oatmeal. Okay, so my extra bags, I will just toss in here. Okay, so this is like breakfast stuff, little things, so I don't, like little salt packets, so I don't get lost in the bottom. And so I'll need this the first morning, and we're hiking out in the afternoon, so we only need dinner, maybe like, you know, some electrolytes and a snack that evening, and dinner. So I'm gonna put the breakfast stuff next for the first breakfast, first morning, and then the dinner, and then the things I would need kind of first. For my meal, like cooking my meals, I've got two different sizes. I've got a 500 milliliter and a 400 milliliter titanium cups, and so I'll use one of them for like breakfast. I'll like, you know, make my coffee with it, and then use the other one to boil water, or for like dinner I can use it to, you know, make those 90-second rice meal things. And then I have a bandana just because it's not only can I use it to like dry stuff after I clean it, I can also use it in case like this is hot. Normally though, if I pull these away, it actually doesn't get too hot. And then my stove, which I need to test. This is full. If you saw my last video and my last camping trip, I actually ended up bringing no fuel. That was really annoying and really dumb. In my pack with me video, I tested my stove and I was like, oh good, there's plenty in there. And turns out, oh no, this is stuck. There we go. Oh no, get back in there. Okay. And it turns out that I only had enough fuel in my canister to test the stove. So I'm going to make sure I can hear liquid and then do this little float test thing every single time. And if I can't hear it, then it'll be time to... Okay, there's plenty in there. It was slightly open, so it was spewing out, and I could hear or smell the fuel. So, yep. Awesome. And there's still plenty in there, so I have plenty. This is actually the same exact fuel canister, and I don't know how my dad does it. If he makes a video on how he refills these, I'll link it below. I don't know if he'll make one on refilling these before this video goes up, but if he does, I will link it below. And then I have one of these little things that fits a larger fuel canister and a small one, because when you're out in the woods, finding a flat surface is pretty much impossible. So some other things that go in the bare canister, which these could probably go towards the bottom, is some travel deodorant, which this is half empty, toothpaste, toothbrush, and then this is an insulated little thing where I can put in any of the bags of food so if, like my oatmeal, for example, I can put it in here, close it up, and it will hydrate and then also heat up, retain the heat, make sure that it stays warm. So like this will also go in the bare canister. And I have a lighter just in case for some reason the little ignite thing doesn't work on here. And so I'll put that on top. And then I am also bringing these. I wonder if, I don't think it does. I highly doubt this has the same threading. Nope, it does not. That's okay. The Sawyer fits perfectly on a smart water bottle. I want to get, not obviously these small ones, but I want to get a collapsible, reusable thingamabob bottle that threads onto my Sawyer. Okay, anyway, back to these. I'm bringing these because that way it makes it nice and easy to put electrolytes in, and I can drink it fairly fast because I don't need it super big. Like, I don't need a huge amount for these electrolytes. Even the other ones, they're just a little bit more salty when there's less water, but that's okay. So I'm gonna actually just leave these out so that I can have access to them when we begin to hike and get to our camping spot, because I know I'm gonna need these, even though we're only hiking like 2 miles in and then camping. So I think that's everything that needs to go in the bear can. And usually when I'm hiking, I don't like fully tighten the bear can all the way. I basically just hand tighten it because it's these little screw things. So that, oh, another thing that goes in overnight would be sunblock. But obviously I'll need that during the day. Even like Aquaphor or chapstick of some kind, lip balm, anything that has some type of smell and could attract a bear should go in the bear can, especially overnight. This is not going to be organized in any way. I had a bunch of categories in my last video, and I talked specifically about the 10 essentials in that last video. So I will have that linked below if you are interested in details on what the 10 essentials are, and I have them all here. So it's here, it's just not like, you know, compiled into what is the 10 essentials. A couple of things that I'm bringing a little bit differently than I would for a standard backpacking trip. So this is a packable backpack. So like this one, like it's not huge, it's not massive by any means. It has a pocket on the inside here, so like a water bladder could fit in there, or water bottles. There's a pocket on this outside part, and then 2 side pockets, and then of course the pocket that the pack was folded into. And so that could actually hold quite a bit of things. So we're gonna need like my mixed nuts and gummy worm mix and lunch and the Cliff bars and some extra electrolytes on that day. So like it'll be basically our full day that we are going to be on the trail. We'll all need to be on us. So I have another packable pack to bring my dad. And I think this will be the one that I give him to use. This is a Columbia one, and oh, there's a random keychain. I'm going to take it off though. That really doesn't have much structure. I will have this one, and he'll have this one. So that way we have enough space for stove, rain jacket, sunblock, our lunch, some snacks, the sit pad so I can have a place to sit. For my pack specifically, I need to put, oh, I am missing a couple of things in here, so I'm glad I looked at that. I need to put my bear can in before literally anything else because it essentially takes up the entirety of my pack. So I forgot the pour over thingamabob, and I have 2, but I don't need to bring them both, and a spork, which I also have 2 of because my husband and I both use them, but he's not coming for this trip, and my dad has his own stuff. Socks. I need socks, which is in the laundry currently. Okay, so I am pretty sure I will have to take out the undo, or at least stretch out the little divider thing in the bottom. Otherwise, the bear can does not fit. I would like to get a different bear can so that I don't have to worry about this if I am doing a backpacking trip without my husband. And also, we both should be carrying basically every single thing we need separately anyway. So in the event that there might be a slight emergency and one of us has to hike back to go get help or whatever, we both have literally everything we could possibly need if we needed to be separated. Okay. Yeah. Literally barely fits. So it's essentially right at the edge, like the top part of my bed. So everything else will just have to be tucked in beside it. So that is annoying, but that's okay. That is the reality. And that's kind of why my dad and I are planning on doing the day hike portion of it with a packable pack instead of just finding a different place to camp. And also the spot where we want to camp is just really, really nice. Okay, so I think I have everything I need in here. I lost the little screw in the bottom of my pack. There might be room down here in the bottom for some little things that I can kind of put in around. Not a whole lot of things. So maybe I'll put this. Nope, not really. Undo all the compression straps. Take this out for now. Okay, so this is my hammock, the little tarp, and the tree straps. I think I'm going to try to condense these down into one bag. I don't know. Well, since I have to shove everything in the sides, I think I will actually just leave them as is. So this is my puffer vest. I'm going to shove down here into the bottom. And then this is my sleeping pad. I'll put in this side. I'll probably put the hammock on that side. And then this is my sleeping bag. This compression sack is at its last life. This is definitely a heavier sleeping bag than what I would love to have, but anything lighter is very expensive. Okay, now to shove this in here. Okay, and then I have clothes, so my base layers for night time. I'm really just shoving anything that will fit down the sides. Yeah, this would really suck to do twice. A smaller bear canister would absolutely be much more ideal. And a down sleeping bag, which is a lot lighter and packs up a lot smaller. But those are very expensive. And that is not in the budget right now. So that is okay though. So I think that's everything that's gonna fit up here. I wonder if this will fit in this top pocket. It does. Perfect. Oh, I have another shirt. I just realized my water bladder. Maybe I won't even bring it. But it needs to go in here. And it's extremely hard to get in there. Maybe I'll just bring it empty because it'll be easier to fill inside of it. Because usually it'll be easier to fill it up once it's already in here. And we will be near water the entire time we're there. This pack's gonna be really heavy. I already know it is. It just is what it is. It's just the gear that I have. The backpack itself is heavy. The sleeping bag is heavy. The bear can is heavy. So that just is what it is for this trip. All right, what else do I have? I need socks, but they're all in the washer, I think. Or they're in here. This is what I had last time, and I have not washed them. So I bet there's some socks in here that need to be washed. These fleece pants. Yep, socks. Oh, but none of these are my smart wool socks. First aid kit. Multi-tool, which I could get a lighter version of this too. Headlamp. Fire starter kit. Extra. Not a necessity, but definitely extra. Aquaphor doubles as lip balm, and except for while you're hiking in the sun, don't want lip balm on, but also first aid. Okay, I think that's everything I need in this pocket. And then in this top pocket, I'll have a trowel, as well as the hammock is in there. What else do I need in there? This. We're getting somewhere. My little sit pad, mostly because it's really, there's a lot of tree sap where we're going, so it will just be a lot easier, or yeah, it'll be easier to not end up in with a lot of tree sap. This is a rain jacket, just in case. A smart water bottle. I just need socks because I'm gonna wear some shorts, a shirt, and one sports bra for the whole trip. And I just need socks. So I usually bring a pair of socks to sleep in. Works out great. A pair of socks to sleep in, a extra pair, which sometimes I sleep in if it is too cold, and a pair of socks to hike in, which I usually hike in my smart wool socks, which dry really, really fast. And then last thing we need to do here, I've got sunblock, which is partially empty. And then these shoes are just some super cheap Walmart or Target, I don't know, shoes to walk around camp. My feet swell when it gets hot and I'm on my feet all the time, so it'll be very nice to have a separate pair of shoes. Eventually I want to get some Tevas or Teva, whatever, however you pronounce it. I want to get those because they're lighter and they pack up better. And then I like to have this mesh stuff sack in case I need to hook it to my bag with something in it that needs to dry. So this is just kind of a just in case kind of thing. I'm pretty sure this is to hold trekking poles, I think. I don't know what it's for, but I always just use this and then use this compression strap to hold them. And I always bring my trekking poles even if I don't think I need them, just in case. And then what I need to do with these, because last time on our way back from our trip, they were poking me in my side because I had them way too low. So this time, I'm not gonna do that. But these are nice to have just in case I need them for, say, I roll my ankle, or it's maybe raining and it's slippery. Sometimes those are nice to have for a little bit extra traction, or maybe something isn't feeling very good and it's just nice to have. So I don't know why it feels like I'm missing something other than socks. I just need socks. This pack is going to be very heavy. We will be hiking at probably minimum 2 miles to get to our, well, at maximum, get to our camping spot. But I definitely would not be able to carry this whole thing for a full hike. Definitely way too heavy for that. The trekking poles hook to here on the front strap and go that way, so they're easy to grab and use. But since I don't need them all the time to tighten all of the compression straps. I know what I'm missing. All of my tech, because I will be vlogging this. I'm not bringing this camera that I'm currently filming on, but I have an action camera and I'll need to bring extra batteries. So that will also need to be packed. Well, I'm not leaving for 2 days, so I will pack those later. Oh, okay, it's not as bad in terms of weight as I thought. So that's good. Okay, so I just need socks and my tech. So I will pack that stuff later, but I think I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me mostly struggle figuring out how I'm packing this pack full of all of the things that I am bringing on my 2-night backpacking trip. And obviously I do need some lighter gear that'll pack up smaller, more compact, but it's not a priority to purchase right now. So I am using what I have, and typically a lot of these things my husband and I split up between us. So usually when him and I go, he carries the bear canister because it fits in his pack a lot more because it's significantly bigger. And then I carry the tent because we usually bring the dog too, and we can't hammock camp with the dog. So when it's just me, I kind of have to really squeeze stuff in here. So yeah, so that is gonna conclude this video. I hope you are enjoying my summer 2025 outdoorsy series. This isn't really your type of thing that you really enjoy watching. Don't worry, I've got lots more travel content, cruise content coming. It probably won't be until closer to next year, or maybe in October I'll start some more travel type videos, but my actual trips aren't going to start until next year. I don't have any more for the rest of the year. I am also training for a marathon, so I am documenting that, and those will be all separate videos. So please consider subscribing to my channel. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and it would be super awesome if you could join our corner of the internet with travel and lifestyle content. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.